Danny, we got to meet Jake today, and he told us about some of the background with you. Did you know very quickly with him that he was a pretty bright guy and had a future in this? And how was this developed? I think he said he sold his soul to you, which is pretty strong, I guess. But how is, like, what did you know quickly, and when did you find out, and how was this developed over the years?
It started out him being a hell of a driver, and then from there it progressed into you know, just being a pretty good coach. You know, his brother Zach is a real good friend of mine that we were together at Houston for, you know, for a year, and you know, Zach told me about Jake wanting to, you know, come on down to Houston, so you know, that's where I was introduced to him. And they both, their dad is a very, very, very successful high school football coach in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at one of the biggest high schools in Oklahoma. So it's kind of in his brother. His grandfather was in the Canadian Football League and the NFL. I mean, it's just, he's been around it forever. And, you know, just did a good job. I mean, he coaches those guys hard. And, you know, worked with, at Houston, worked with Kingsbury, Cliff Kingsbury, who's a good friend of mine, who's a great quarterback coach. Was underneath him from quarterbacks for a whole year, so he learned the schematic stuff from me, and you know, how I script and how I call plays and how I set practice schedules and do practices. He did that with me for going on 3 years now, and then, you know, just being able to coach the heck out of those quarterbacks. He's a former college quarterback himself, so yeah, to answer your question, I knew pretty quick. He's just young, you know, he's just young and he's paid his dues.
Can I follow up on the driver part?
What's that?
Can I follow up on the driver part?
It was a joke. You know, he's been known to drive me around a little bit, you know, on the way home, just because he lived with me for a year, you know. So it goes back to a funny story that I can't talk about in here.
What have you seen out of him progression-wise?
You might figure it out.
Developing as a coach, coming in as the GA, and what was it about his style that made you see, I guess, that he was a good fit for what
just competent, you know, and you know, I'll be trying to get a script together, and he's already got 3/4 of it put together based on how he knows how I work. So it's a lot of the same lines as how I got hired at Tech. You know, I mean, I did that stuff for Leach for, you know, for 2 or 3 years, and then when Leach got his job, he hired me. That's just how this profession works. I mean, you have guys underneath you that understand how you do it. Shannon's the same way. You know, Shannon and I have been bouncing ideas off each other for quite a while, and you know, that's how he got a job. It's just everybody in this profession needs to have somebody that they're connected to in order to get hired.
Did you know when you accepted this job that was the move you were going to make? Did he know when he moved that he was in line to get this?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, probably a lot of things could happen. I mean, I don't know.
Just know if it was a conversation.
Maybe I'll fire him in a week or so. No, he's doing fine. All these guys are. I mean, this you know, the staff, you know, looking back 3 months ago where we're at and looking at where we're at now, this staff's pretty united. I think we're all, you know, getting to know each other pretty good, both, you know, within us offensively, but also with offensively and defensively, and divvying up the stuff special teams wise. I mean, right now I couldn't be happier with how everybody's meshing, getting along, and getting on the same page. So if we can keep that up, it'll probably translate into the players kind of being on the same page to the point where we'll probably win a lot of games.
Has that been difficult? Two different worlds, offensive and defensive staffs from, you know, different leagues, different ages, different everything coming together. Has that been difficult to merge that, or did you have to work at it, or?
It's coming. You know, like I just said, I mean, I couldn't be happier with how everybody's, you know, on the same page and all focused towards trying to win that first game is what we're trying to do. So anytime there's, you know, different coordinators, different staff members that haven't worked with each other, I don't care if they're, what kind of the age difference or where you're from or what you do. I mean, if you haven't worked together, there's a bit of a transition time to be able to get to know how everybody works. You know, everybody's feeling each other out, you know, and that's no different than how Dave Kearns in the training department down there is feeling me out as far as how I want things, and Mike Joseph in the strength department as far as feeling me out, trying to make sure that he's doing things that I want. That's just all part of the process.
They have to earn your trust, though, as the guys in the other staff.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, it works both ways. I mean, they got to trust me and I got to trust them. So, couldn't be happier with the way it's going right now. It's 13 practices into it. We got 15 more, and you know, and then we got to learn how to game plan together and practice a game week together, and then play a game together, and then how you get over a game together, and then how you move on to the next one. So this is, you know, this is year one of hopefully a lot of years that we learn how to work and win a lot of games together.
Got to hear a little